Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here with my review of Zyuohger episode 45. I believe it was 45, I think so. It's always like one higher than the second number of X8, I think. So yeah, 45. Anyway, so this week's episode we're finally starting to enter endgame-ish territory. It's choking me up. No, not really though. And it was pretty solid, honestly. Like, unfortunately, I bring this up multiple times and I hate to do it, but I kind of hate that I'm not invested. It's not like it's really bad, it's just I miss that feeling of when we're around this time, like Sentai Endgame, where you're really invested and you're like really excited about what's going on and you can't wait to see the next episode and you just kind of feel that involvement when you're watching, it's kind of a hard to describe feeling, I guess. Like sometimes, you know, when the episode clock runs out and you don't even realize the episode was over, and right now I just feel kind of indifferent to it. It's mainly because of how much time they spent on nothingness, and also I find the endgame to be pretty generic. Maybe there'll be some twists later on, we can always hope. But like right now, basically this episode's main, I guess, feature was about Azald being revealed to be that original enemy that the original Zyuoh whale fought. And I think I talked about that last week. That was in like spoilers a while ago from scans and stuff, so that's at least neat that something's happening. I kind of wish I never read that theory I talked about last week about him actually being that human that was cast away by the Jumans, because I think that's so much more interesting. This is pretty generic stuff. It's not like it's bad, it's just pretty generic, and I'm not all that invested. It does appear, based on comments that Genus made though, that he might have known. I don't know if it was hinted at before and I just might have missed it because I don't pay that much attention, but so that's out of the bag, because they fought him and then Zyuoh Bird like blasted him with the whale gun and he was like, oh, I never got nailed that hard before, or something like that, and the subtitles was hilarious, or I never thought I'd get nailed like that again. I don't know, something about nailing. And then he like wilted his like full-on like inhuman transformation back into his old self, and then he started to beat the crap out of him. So that was the thing. So like it made for some good stuff and some good fight scenes and stuff like that. There were some cool fight scenes with Bard. I honestly thought, well, kinda thought, because it was in the preview last week for this week's episode, and then of course in this week's episode when Bard picked up the whale gun, and I didn't think he was gonna transform, because, I mean I did, like I wanted him to, like thinking that might happen, but like kind of in the back of my mind didn't think it was gonna happen, because I feel like we would have seen scans or preview images or something for that, but that would have been kind of neat. I mean, just neat for something to happen. I guess we would have maybe just gotten a off-colored version of Zyuoh Whale's suit. I don't know. But so that was a thing that happened. And I really did like the scene when they were, when Larry brought the cube over and he was explaining to them, like, oh yeah, they used these powers from Azald that were similar to the Earth power of the cubes to make the world. And Leo's like, oh, that makes so much sense now. And I think it was Amu that said, like, don't act like you ever thought about it, because I think I mentioned last week, I didn't even think about it either. Like, it's weird because usually when you get little things like that and they gloss over it like Toku does, I'm usually like the first to be like, hey, what the hell, man? Because I'm just about to review X8 and I have stuff like that. But I didn't even think about it. Maybe it's just from apathy, I don't know, but I just think it's funny that like neither myself or the characters even thought about how they just made the world. Like they're just like, oh, we made the world by pushing human powers into it, and everyone was just like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like that was just me. So I thought that was kind of funny. The other part of this episode was a little bit about Yamato's dad and him talking to Amu about, like he wanted to call her Emu because of X8, about like why they don't get along. It's basically because it was like a classic, his dad did work. He worked too much and then like he missed his mother's death or something. It was just like a classic, like cue daddy wasn't there storyline. At least his dad's not missing, but it's like, man, can we get through a year without the Toku characters' motivations revolving around parents? Revolving, there we go. But so yeah, that was a thing, and that looks like it'll be touched on more next week. I thought it was gonna be the main focus of this week actually, and then like Azald at the very end, but we just touched on the stuff about Yamato's family at the very beginning, and then the rest was mainly about the fight with Azald. And then next week looks like there's to be a preview. I mean, looks like there's a preview. In the preview it looks like they're gonna be resolving it, so that's a thing. I'm not really that invested in it, but hey, at least it's a little something. But yeah, overall, I don't have too much else to say, I don't think. This was a pretty solid episode. Like I said, there was some cool action. At least there's some stuff in motion. All that jazz. So yeah, I don't have too much else to say. I won't keep you here for that, so let's just hope it stays decent until the end. I'd probably get an episode about a 7. Yeah, that seems about right. Anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you have the Crazy Podcast at writersrangerambles.com, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.